Hello and welcome to PondHub with Tim. This week I'm replanting and dividing water irises. It's a spring day right at the very end of February, beginning of March, and now I'm going to be getting on top of the irises in these old pots and planting them in the new marshes that I made just before winter. Ideally, you'd divide any irises that needed dividing after they'd finished flowering, and which I didn't do last year, but you can do it in spring just before the new growth starts. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be taking them out of these old pots and getting them into the new marshes. Now, I've got myself a bucket of water here. The first thing I'm going to be doing is carefully trying to remove these plants, preserving as much of the root as I can. There we are. Yeah, that's looking lovely. And going to get as much of that soil off. I've got a bucket there to rinse it as well. There we are. So you can start to see now where I've washed off the soil. You had your original plant here and the rhizome, and then you can see there's this second rhizome which is growing there and which is connected. And dividing iris is really very, very simple. What you're really doing is you're looking for the thinnest point between those. Hey presto, you have two irises now. So I'll put those to one side into my water bucket, and then when I finish dividing them all, I'll replant them in the marshes. Right, so I've got them all out of the old pots now. I've divided the ones that need dividing, and they're ready to go into the new marshes. So here are the two new marshes that I made. You saw me make one of those just at the winter. Oh, a little bit of wind, giving a bit of camera wobble there. It's very dramatic. In fact, I think I might just steady that. Yeah, don't worry, we weren't having an earthquake. I'm dividing these out. I've got different breeds, and the idea is what I want to do is I want to mix them all up a little bit so that you get a sort of variety of these. And I'm planting them slightly towards the back of my marshes. That's because there are different things that I want to do at the front of the marshes, which I'll show you in a week or so. I'm just going to put these in. Make sure the roots are well covered. Let me get those set in place. The other thing I'm planning to do is I'm planning to plant land irises up here along the bank, so that you get this sort of lovely mixture of all these different kind of irises along this walk here. I've got a few in there, but I'll be doing some more later in the year. Let's sort of, I also like to not plant too regularly so that it looks a little bit more organic. Slightly larger marsh, this one, but roughly similar size. And again, I'm planting towards maybe the sort of back third of the marsh generally. So now that the water's had a little bit of chance to clear and the mud has had a little bit of chance to settle, you might notice a few spots where there's a little bit of exposed root which you can gently push down and cover. Here we are. And here. There. So hopefully a little bit later in the year we're going to have a spectacular display. I'm looking forward to it.